Hello all and welcome to Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on these gorgeous pair of earrings that you see right here. Very exciting. Best part is we have two sizes and I give you two measurements, so you can use the largest size or you can use the size down. Now I'll talk about measurements in a minute, but firstly I want to talk about the yarn. The colour combination for today, for starters, was chosen by the lovely Lois, one of our subscribers on our live Antics. Now we have live Antics every Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time, and marry that up with your country. And one lucky subscriber on that live gets to choose the colour combination of our very next tutorial. And the lovely Lois chose the blue. Simply divine. I love, love, love. All right, so today's tutorial, you will need 5 to 6 grams of cotton. That is it. Super, super easy. Now I've got a lot here. Now this cotton here is from our Bendigo Woolen Mills here in Victoria, in Bendigo actually, and it is a light teal. It is a 4-ply or a 2-weight. It's a very lightweight thread, lightweight cotton. All right, and it calls for a 3mm, and we are using the 3mm crochet hook today, which is relatively small. You will need your scissors, you will need that stitch marker, just one, and you will need that naughty sewing needle. I've got enough holes in my fingers about that. And you will be needing only, like I said, 5 to 6 grams worth. I think each one took about 3 grams of cotton, to be fair. So maybe allow yourself 6 grams and maybe a little bit more depending on your tension, yeah? All right, so that's that. I will now give you roughly the measurement of our earrings, and then you can decide which one you want to make, all right? So the measurement is you are going through the widest part of the earring. Now the largest size is 6.4 centimeters. And the smaller size, which is the one I worked on, is exactly, oh no, it's probably not. It's probably a little bit smaller than 6. Let's have a look. It's about 5.8 centimeters. Yeah, 5.8 centimeters, between 5.8 and 5.9 centimeters, and your inches is there. All right, so you can decide which one you want to make today. I give you the measurements in the tutorial for both those sizes. All right, so you can go ahead and make yours today. Once again, a very special thank you from the lovely Lois for her color combination today. Good luck creating your gorgeous earrings. All right, guys, we're going to start by making a magic loop or a magic circle or a magic ring. Just grab the tail end of your yarn, holding it in front. Grab the working end, wrap it around 2 fingers like so. Forming a little X here, pop your hook under the first loop, grab that back loop up and pull through. And what you have is 1, 1 and 2 in front. What you need to do is grab everything, don't let go. Yeah? And what I want you to do here is chain 1, and a chain is yarn over your hook, pull a loop through once, keeping it still. Yeah, we're going to do a single crochet US, double crochet UK in that space, crocheting over the 2 loops, the working end and the tail end of your yarn. Okay, so pop your hook in the space, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops. Hold it there for a minute, just grab your tail and give it a gentle tug. All right, and before we continue, what I want you to do, let's bring this up a little, is pop in a second single crochet or double crochet UK. In the space, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both those loops. Just grab a stitch marker for a moment. It's any stitch marker you want, preferably a smaller one. These big ones are a little annoying. I've already done one earring and it was a little tiny bit annoying. So what I want you to do is pop it in the top 2 loops of the very first single crochet you did. Not the one we just completed, the one we did in the beginning. All right. Try not to move it around like I just did there. Almost lost it. All right. So Now we are still working in the round exactly the same way we did before. You've got 2 single crochets already. We're going to put another 8. If you have the larger earring, then you need to put another 10. So you need 12 altogether for the large earring and 10 altogether for the smaller size. All right, so we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If it helps you to close it a little bit, you can. 9, 10. That's for my smaller earring. Now closing it just means, you know, tugging that loop there, yeah? All right, so making sure that you actually have 10 by counting these little V's you see right here. See those little V's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me do it again. I'm struggling to see. Get closer. 1, you're including the one here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 if you are making the larger size. All right. So get ready for the next round, but before you do, you need to grab that tail and you need to hold your work up the top and just give it a tug and it closes that center. Pop the tail right at the back out of your way and slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker, or in the first stitch if you didn't use your stitch marker, which may be troublesome to find if you didn't use a stitch marker. That's popping your hook in, pulling a loop through, and pull it through to the loop on your hook. Remove your stitch marker for a moment. All right, so you have closed your center. We're going to tighten up this circle in a minute, but not now. First thing we're going to do is chain 1, tighten it a little bit, 2 and 3. Grab your stitch marker, pop it in this stitch right here. It is important to actually pop a stitch marker here because we're going to chain another one which will be like a space. All right, and the chain 3 here will be where you need to slip stitch in the end of the round. Yeah, so chain 1 more, and what we're going to do is place a double crochet US treble UK in the very next stitch. Now the stitches are a little tricky to see. We are in that one there, so we need to go right into the next one. So what you want to do is pop your yarn over your hook, skip the stitch that you are in, go directly into your next one, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2, chain 1. And that is pretty much our pattern in the round. Yarn over your hook, double crochet US treble UK in the next stitch. Try not to miss any. This one here is really small. Pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2, chain 1, and off you go doing every stitch across, being careful not to miss any. All right, so what I'm going to do now is actually just pop this on fast, and you can head off on your own and continue, or you can also slow down your video, and off we go. Double crochet, chain 1 in every stitch across. Now I haven't been counting them, so I'm not sure. I think I might have one more, but I'm going to count them anyway. Now there are 2 ways to count. You can either count your double crochets across and then your chains across, or you can count your stitches. Now if you count the double crochets, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 10 double crochets. Count your chain spaces, 10 chain spaces. Or you can count the stitches, the little V's up the top, which will be 20, yes, or it'll be 12 if you're using the larger size, or 24 in the stitches if you're using the larger size. All right, so we are going to slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker, pull a loop through, and pull it through to the loop on your hook. just remove your stitch marker for a moment. I've noticed that my center, whoops, if it can come out, my center is opening up. We're going to close that in a minute anyways, all right? But in the meantime, what I want you to do for now is to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Pop your stitch marker in there again. This will act as a double crochet in this round. In the space that you come to, you're putting 2 double crochets US, trebles UK. So off you go, putting 2 in that space. 1 and 2. And then when you come to a stitch, notice how I moved the work over, you're going to put 1 double crochet in the top of the stitch, like so. 2 into the space, 1 and 2, and 1 into the stitch. Such a super easy pattern, yeah? All right, 2. That was 2 into the space and 1 into the stitch. All right, I'm not going to let you sit here and watch me do this round, okay? You need 2 in the space, 1 in the stitch, space, stitch, space, stitch, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and so on. Get to your very last stitch there and wait for me there, all right? So go ahead and do that now, and I'll meet you right at the stitch marker once you're done. All right, so I asked you to get to the end of the round. Well, let's get a nice close-up for you. Now, I haven't done my last double crochet in that stitch yet, so pop one in the stitch. But remember, you have another space before your stitch, so you need to put 2 double crochets in that space, 1 and 2. All right, and if you were to count your stitches, you would have 30 stitches in the round for the small, or 36 stitches in the round for the large, okay? So what we do from here is we slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker, pull a loop through, and pull it through to the loop on your hook. Chain 1, single crochet, we're back to single crochets like here, single US, double UK, in the same stitch you are in. All right, so you're going right back into that stitch, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops, and pop your stitch marker in there. In the same stitch, you are putting your second single crochet. This is all size earrings, yep. Now, this row here is single 1, single 2, and then 2 singles in your third, all right? So single in the first stitch, single in the second stitch, and 2 singles in your third. 1 and 2, yeah? Single 1, 2, and then 2 into the next. Single 1, 2, and then 2 into the very next stitch. 1 and 2. So all you have to remember in this round is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2 in the round, okay? So off we go doing single 1, single 2, and then 2 into the very next stitch. All right, so I'm going to let you head off on your own doing your own, and you need to just go 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2 all the way in the round. Get to your last 2 stitches right there, and I'll meet you there once you're done. All right, guys, I asked you to get to the end of this round, yeah. So I said that get to your very last 2 stitches. In the one before, you should have put 2 single crochets, and then you should have 2 stitches left where you just put 1 in each one. If you haven't, just check your count to make sure you haven't made an error. All right, where you should all be is 40 single crochets for your small and 48 single crochets for your large. All right. Now we're going to slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker, pull a loop through and pull it through to the loop on your hook. And before we do anything, just chain one for a minute. You're going to turn your work, and that little tail, before you go anywheres, you're going to weave that in. All right, let's go grab our needle and do that now. Alrighty guys, just quickly pop a stitch marker in your loop. Now I had to actually thread my needle off air because usually it takes me a long time to do, and today even longer because the thread is thinner. So there you go. Don't you love it when she walks away and doesn't do anything? All right, so thread your needle real quickly with your base thread, yeah? And then we're going to literally go right in and under. It's a little difficult to see, isn't it? I'll see how high up I can get it. Ooh, that's too high, but we'll see how we go, hey? I might go out of frame a few times. Okay, so the idea is to go into some stitching here, splitting them a little bit. Just don't tell anyone because we're not allowed to do that, apparently. I get told off all the time. All right, so you are splitting some yarn. The idea is splitting. The reason someone asked me the other day, I said, look, if you get told off, why do you keep doing it? Because when you split the yarn, it's really difficult for this to come out, all right? If you're just weaving it in through stitches, that's okay, but it may come out. Just check the front, make sure you can't see your needle, yeah? It may come out and you may have, the risk of it coming out. And don't pin yourself, guys. I do this all the time. Whenever we have a sewing needle here, I pin myself. Don't do it. Be careful. Watch what you're doing. So a little bit more, not more than that, because that's really tight now. Just check you can't see the needle. Well, you can see it through the spaces, of course, but it's too scared. It's going to pin me again. All right, so I think 3 times is enough. 3 times in the round. We've already crocheted over it once. Now, don't assume that that won't come out. This is why I like to weave in that first end. That has come out in the past. I've had people ask me, Mary, can you do some repairs to my blanket? I've got this beautiful blanket with one big hole in the center. That center thread can and will come out, all right? Maybe not so much for the earrings. Oh, remove your stitch marker, sorry. Maybe not so much for the earrings because the earrings don't go in the washing machine. If you're going to wash them, that'll be like by hand, yeah? All right, we're going to do a round of single crochets, but not in the piece alone. This is where we grab our earrings. It's very exciting. And now the gorgeous Lois wanted to use the earrings with a little jagged edge, so I've got that there for her, all right? You've got the earring, pop it in your fingers at the back, you've got your work in front. You're going to start your single crochet by popping your hook in the stitch, yeah, grab your earring, go through the earring, pull the loop through the earring and through the stitch at the same time. That first stitch is always difficult. Yarn over your hook and pull through both those loops. You don't need to put a stitch marker, all right? And what you're doing is you're doing exactly that. Single crochet in every stitch, and now it's going to be a lot easier to go through the actual hoop, all right? Pop your hook in the stitch and around the hoop. So easy now, isn't it? Single crochet, and off we go. Look, when I say easy, it's uncomfortable, but it's not completely difficult, is it? It's relatively easy. The other thing you need to know when doing this is that this is going to maneuver a lot. Eventually, this part's going to be right up to here, real tight, and you're probably going to be up to here and think, uh-oh, this is not going to make it. You just have to keep maneuvering your piece, all right? So single in your next, and your next, and making sure you are not missing any stitches. And I'll show you again. You're going in the stitch, around the hoop. Well, I'm trying to do it so you can see. Around the hoop, pull your loop through like so, and there you go. Stitch around the hoop, pull the loop through like so. All right, so let's just keep going, yeah? Now I'm going to pop this on fast in a minute, and you can watch me maneuver as I go around. And you can slow down your video if you like, but for me I'm going to pop it on fast. All right, so off we go, putting our single crochet in all our stitches across, maneuvering our piece like that as you go. I might bring this down a little bit. All right, and off we go. Alright, now guys, I forgot to mention that when you get towards the end, you're leaving out 1 and 2 stitches. So I've got 3 stitches left. The way we do this is we kind of need to push everything aside to get it in. I was hoping that I didn't mention, but I did leave a little notification that you weren't doing your stitches too tight and you weren't doing them too loose either. I have 1 more stitch to go, which is a little difficult for me. I'll just move it right around and we're here, and I want to get that in. I know I'm going to do it because I've done the other earring exactly the same and I don't want to mess it up. All right, so there we go. That is pretty much it, guys. You're done. Making sure you have the right amount of stitches in the round. Remember, we have 2 single crochets left. All right. So now all you're doing is pulling up a loop. Super easy, yeah? Cut your thread and thread your needle. I'm going to do that off air. Wow, I had to do that 3 or 4 different times, and I've kind of damaged the thread a little bit. Don't you hate it when you're trying to thread a small needle? All right, so this is the front of our work that we just did. All you want to do is grab your tail. That's where your knot is. You just want to grab your tail and put it in the stitch just before it, but the back of the stitch. All right, so let's see if I can show you properly. There's 1 stitch. This is the stitch you want to go into, but you want to go down the back loop of that stitch. Not even a back loop, it's kind of like a middle stitch. Yeah, and down you go, and your little knot is gone. All right, from here what you want to do, turn it around and weave it through the back, down and into stitches, and also yours truly is splitting some stitches. All right, I think we're done. You can go through 2 or 3 times, however many you like. I think we're done with that thread that was really bad for me, really tight in a needle. Whoops. Making sure you don't cut your thread. Just give your work a bit of a tug without pinning yourself, and your earring is complete. Ta-da! And there you go. Gorgeous, huh? And there you have it, guys. You now have 2 beautiful earrings, or 1 pair of earrings, and a very special thank you to the lovely Lois who chose these colours during live Antics on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time. Marry that up with your country and you could get the opportunity to choose a colour combination of our very next tutorial. It's super exciting. Don't forget, guys, to join us also at 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoons where we have a second live. We don't do live Antics on that one, but we do have a lot of fun. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Do all the wonderful things that you guys pretty much already do for me. My name is Mary and this is Wow Crochet Designs, and ciao for now.